News from around the globe. Hot, fresh, balanced and objective. On Unity. News from around the globe. Hot, fresh, balanced and objective.
Hello and welcome to News Hour on Unity TV. Today is Wednesday, 10th of May 2023 and it's equivalent to 20th of Sha'ban 1444 after Hijrah. The headlines. Buhari congratulates Adeleke on Supreme Court victory. Presidential election tribunal adjourns till Thursday to hear PDP. APM's petitions. Military onslaught, terrorists flee Zamfara, invade Kastina villages. And on the foreign scene, jury finds Donald Trump liable in civil rape trial. And in sports, Messi agrees move to Saudi Arabia. And those were the headlines, and for details and more of the stories, I am Rukayat Sani Ibrahim. President Muhammadu Buhari has charged Osun residents, especially the political class, to support Governor Ademola Adeleke for the prosperity of all and sundry. Buhari gave the charge on Tuesday in a statement after the Supreme Court's verdict by his special advisor on media and publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, following the decision of the Supreme Court, which affirmed the electoral victory of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and Adeleke in the July 2022 governorship election in Osun State. He called on all citizens and residents of the state, particularly her notable sons and daughters, to give the government of Senator Ademola Adeleke all the support it needs to ensure that programs, policies, plans and aspirations fashioned to make individuals and businesses flourish succeed. President Muhammadu Buhari will address the incoming and returning governors as part of activities lined up for the induction program. President Buhari, who will be the special guest of honor at the third induction ceremony for the governors put together by the Nigerian Governors Forum (NGF), slated to commence from Monday, May 15 to May 19, 2023. It will give the keynote address to the gathering of governors, including those that are already out of office. In a statement yesterday by the NGF Director of Media and Publicity Affairs, Abdulrazak Barkindo, he disclosed that those invited to the NGF induction are former British Prime Minister Tony Blair, Mr. Jean Pierre Elong Mbase, the Secretary General of United Cities and Local Governments of Africa, and President William Ruto of Kenya, among others. The Presidential Election Petition Court (PEPC) has adjourned pre-hearing in the petitions filed by People's Democratic Party (PDP) and the Action People's Movement (APM) until Thursday. The five-member panel, led by Justice Haruna Tsammani, adjourned after listening to the adoption of answers by all the counsel in the petitions. Atiku and the PDP in the petition dated March 21, 2023, are challenging the outcome of the presidential election on February 25. Respondents in the petition are the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) as first Tinubu and second, and the APC as third. As the air and land components of the Nigerian military continued the onslaught on terrorists in Zamfara State, reports indicate that the terrorists have fled to neighboring Sokoto, Niger and Katsina states, where they are currently making life unbearable to the locals. The terrorists have specifically unleashed untold hardship and misery on villages close to Rugu Forest in Safana, Batsari and Jibia in Katsina State. These made many inhabitants of these villages flee to safer locations. A native of Batsari in Katsina State who craved anonymity as he spoke to newsmen in Kaduna said the terrorists have now occupied areas in Jibia at Shaikewayan, Yang Larba, Garin Labo, Jajai and Baranda, down to western Waigigi and Giginyu, up to the Safana border. Spokesperson of the Katsina State Police Command Gambo Isa confirmed that there were strange faces in Rugu Forest near Safana and their operatives were doing their best. Despite the unveiling of Senator Godswill Akpabio as their preferred candidate for Senate President, some members-elect of the 10th National Assembly have vowed to make independent choice of leaders at the inauguration of the Parliament. It will be recalled that the ruling All Progressives Congress APC on Monday announced Akpabio as its consensus candidate, while also choosing Honorable Tajuddin Abbas for the speakership of the House, but newsmen gathered that the choice was yet to be accepted by many of the members-elect. The zoning formula was reported to have provoked the senators-elect to reinvigorate their earlier quest to vote for their choice in the door of Abdul Aziz Yari and current Chief Whip of the Senate, Senator Orji Uzo Kalu, for the top two leadership positions in the red chambers. A prominent Northwest senator-elect who pleaded not to be named described the actions of TUNTBE as not only disappointing but provocative, saying that Akwai was an unpopular candidate. In the same vein, a member-elect of the House from one of the opposition parties told Vanguard in confidence that APC was in for a shock. He was said that the opposition parties were working assiduously to unstage the ruling party, boasting with their numerical strength of 183 members-elect. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) and the Labour Party (LP) have dismissed the zoning of principal offices in the Senate and House of Representatives by the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) as an internal affair of the party. In separate responses to a question on the subject, National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Honorable Debo Ologunagba, and his Labour Party counterpart Obiora Ifo gave their perspective. While the PDP is keeping its planned response to the APC's action close to its chest, the Labour Party said the APC's decision was an exercise in futility because opposition parties, who are in the majority, will ultimately decide who their principal officers will be. No fewer than 16 persons have been reportedly killed in a bloody supremacy clash between two rival cult groups, clans, and black ass confraternities over the control of a minibus park in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. It was gathered that the incident started on Sunday in the Nwaniba area of the state when the two groups engaged each other over alleged encroachment into the park to collect parking tolls by one group. Forcing an angry reaction from the opposition camp, a resident of the community, Nora Iwang, told newsmen in Uyo on Tuesday that property estimated at several millions of naira have been destroyed in the crisis, while thousands have deserted their homes. Investigation revealed that 8 people were slaughtered in Use Ofot and over 10 others were killed in Anua, Ekpiri, Nsukara, and Onion communities, while several others have been hospitalized in various hospitals with various degrees of injuries. Meanwhile, the police public relations officer SP Odiko McDon, who confirmed the killing, said only 4 people were killed, adding that the Commissioner of Police Olatoyo Durosimi is miffed at the disruption of public order and safety by 2 rival cult groups at Anua Ofot and Use Ofot, both at Nwaniba in Uyo local government area, leading to the loss of lives. Gunmen have reportedly killed 2 yet-to-be-identified Abia local vigilante members in Aba South local government area. The gunmen, said to be dressed in black shirts and trousers, killed the 2 vigilante members in a gun duel. The gunmen were said to be members of a notorious group operating within Obohia, Port Harcourt Road and its environs. It was gathered that from sources around the area that the vigilant personnel, after citing the gangsters, went after the attempt to confront the group by the vigilante operatives were rebuffed as the group paid no attention to the vigilante members. It was learned that the group, who felt that the vigilante members have overstepped their bounds, opened fire on them. It was gathered that crossfire led to the death of 2 vigilante operatives, while some other members sustained bullet injuries. And on the foreign scene, the jury seated in New York has found former President of the United States Donald Trump liable of sexual assault in a case involving writer Jane E. Carroll. The former Elle magazine columnist filed a defamation and battery suit against Trump last year after a law took effect in New York that gave victims of sexual assault a 1-year window to sue their alleged abusers decades after attacks may have occurred. Testifying before the jury last week, Carroll described to jurors how an encounter with Trump in a Manhattan store quickly turned violent. Trump had vehemently denied the allegations via his social media platform Truth Social, where he tagged Carroll's claim a complete con job and the suit a made-up scam. The 9-person jury reached a decision on Tuesday finding Trump liable of sexual assault but not rape. He was also found liable for defamation for calling her claims a hoax. And in sports, Argentine superstar Lionel Messi will play in Saudi Arabia next season under a huge deal. A source close to the negotiations told AFP on Tuesday. A source who is not authorized to speak to media said the contract is exceptional, huge, and some small details are being finalized. Asked about the comments, Messi's current club Paris Saint-Germain simply noted he remains under contract until June 30. And with the sport news, we've come to the end of our bulletin for today. You can follow us on our social media handles at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Unity Radio FM TV, respectively. You can also watch us live on the satellite decoder Sat, which has been watched in about 38 countries of the world free. You can also watch us and stream us live on our YouTube channel at Unity FM TV. I am Rukayat Sani Ibrahim. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of our programs. Do have yourself a lovely day.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was seeing things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
Unity.